Have you ever looked at your combined household income and wondered where it all went? Perhaps you and your partner are both working professionals with what should be a comfortable life. You might be earning six figures together, yet you still feel like you are barely keeping your head above water. It is a strange and frustrating reality for millions of middle-class families today. On paper, you are doing everything right by having two incomes instead of one. Mathematically, it seems like having two paychecks should mean double the wealth and double the security. But for many, the reality is exactly the opposite. The more money that comes into the house, the more fragile the household seems to become. If you have ever felt that you make too much money to be this broke, you are likely caught in a systemic trap. This trap is not about your lack of discipline or poor spending habits. It is an economic phenomenon where your fixed costs have expanded to consume every dollar you earn. Today, we are going to explore why the modern two-income model is failing so many people. More importantly, we are going to look at the secret strategy used by the most financially resilient families. This strategy is known as the one-income foundation. It is a mindset shift that can buy back your freedom and give you true security in an uncertain world. To understand why we need a new strategy, we must first look at what happened to the second income. Most people believe that a second earner in the family is pure profit. If one spouse makes $70,000 and the other makes $50,000, it feels like a massive win. But when you actually peel back the layers, that $50,000 income often disappears before it hits your bank account. First, consider the impact of progressive income taxes in the United States. That second income is taxed at your highest marginal rate because it sits on top of the first salary. After federal, state, and payroll taxes, your $50,000 might quickly turn into $35,000. Then, there are the costs of actually going to work. If you have children, the cost of childcare can easily consume $20,000 per year or more. Add in the cost of a second commute, gas, car maintenance, and professional clothing. Suddenly, that $50,000 salary is netting the household less than $500 a month. When you factor in the cost of convenient services like takeout food because everyone is too tired to cook, the net profit might even be zero. You are trading 40 hours of your life every week for almost no financial gain. But the real danger is not just the lost money. The real danger is that most families use that second income to qualify for a larger mortgage. They buy the biggest house the bank says they can afford based on two paychecks. They take on car payments that require both partners to stay employed. This is the moment the trap snaps shut. By committing both incomes to fixed costs, you have effectively burned your backup plan. 50 years ago, a single-income family had a hidden insurance policy. If the breadwinner lost their job or got sick, the stay-at-home parent could enter the workforce to bridge the gap. Today, that emergency reserve is already being used just to pay the monthly bills. There is no margin for error anymore. If either partner loses a job, the entire financial structure collapses almost instantly. This is why families with two incomes are statistically more likely to face bankruptcy than single-income families were in the past. They are running their financial engine at 100% capacity with no spare parts. So how do we break free from this cycle? The answer lies in building a life on a one-income foundation. This does not necessarily mean that one partner should quit their job tomorrow. Instead, it means structuring your life so that your essential expenses can be covered by only one salary. Imagine a life where your mortgage, utilities, groceries, and insurance are all paid for by the primary earner. In this scenario, the second income becomes entirely discretionary. You are no longer working to survive, you are working to build wealth. When you treat the second income as a bonus rather than a requirement, magic starts to happen. Every dollar from that second paycheck can go straight into high-quality investments like a total stock market index fund. Because your bills are already paid, you can afford to let that money compound for years without touching it. The psychological relief of this setup is massive. If one of you hates your job, you can quit without fear. If an aging parent needs care, one of you has the flexibility to be there. You have bought back your optionality, which is the truest form of wealth. Living on one income in a two-income world requires a lot of courage. It means driving an older car when your neighbors are leasing new luxury vehicles. It means buying a smaller house in a modest neighborhood rather than the mansion the bank offered you. It means saying no to lifestyle inflation every time you get a raise. But the payoff for this sacrifice is a level of security that most people will never know. Consider the math of compounding over a 10-year period. If a couple invests a second salary of $40,000 every year, they could have over $600,000 in a decade. At that point, the investments themselves will likely earn more in a year than a full-time job. This is the tipping point where your money starts doing the heavy lifting for you. You move from a state of fragile survival to a state of absolute financial independence. The goal is to reach a place where work is a choice, not a necessity. Most people believe they will get there by earning more money, but as we have seen, higher earnings usually lead to higher fixed costs and even less freedom. The only way out of the trap is to widen the gap between what you earn and what you must spend. By anchoring your lifestyle to a single income, you create a permanent safety net. You are prepared for the unexpected because your baseline is low. You are ready for opportunities because your cash flow is high. Take a look at your current budget today. Identify which expenses are fixed and which ones are flexible. Ask yourself what would happen if one of your incomes disappeared tomorrow morning. If that thought terrifies you, it is time to start downsizing your requirements. Begin by diverting every raise or bonus into savings rather than a higher standard of living. Slowly work toward a goal where your primary salary covers the essentials. It might take a few years to restructure your life, but the journey is worth it. Financial peace of mind is not found in a larger paycheck. It is found in the margin between your income and your needs. When you stop playing the game of keeping up with the Joneses, you finally win. You realize that a smaller house with a paid-off mortgage provides more happiness than a mansion held together by stress. You realize that time spent with your family is more valuable than any promotion that requires more of your soul. The One Income Foundation is about reclaiming your life from a system that wants you to be a permanent debtor. It is about building a legacy of stability for your children. It is about having the freedom to say yes to the things that truly matter. Make the choice today to stop being a slave to your expenses. Start building your foundation on solid ground. Your future self will thank you for the freedom you are creating right now. The path to wealth is not complicated, but it does require a different way of thinking. Do not let the two-income trap define your story. Break the cycle, build your margin, and find your freedom.